Okay, so this particular message is coming from one of my weeklies. So if it sounds familiar, this is probably like a double confirmation that this is for you. Um, it's really interesting because before I was tapping into, and if any of this sounds familiar, I feel like this will definitely mean that this is for you. But I was tapping into like a collective where you have shedded so much, you have moved through so many soul lessons, you've accelerated it, and it feels like you have gone to soul school. I've mentioned this in the past. So again, if this sounds familiar, this is for you. You could have like probably said this to yourself or said this to other people like, oh, it just feels like, you went to like soul school, soul university, and you are accelerating through lesson after lesson, challenge after challenge, shadow after shadow, just like non non-stop, really. And you got to a point where there were almost like no more lessons coming at you and no more challenges coming at you. And this isn't me saying that like you stop learning, you stop having lessons come to you. No, 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 no. But what I mean is like when you're so bombarded with lesson after lesson after lesson after lesson, which I know a lot of people were the last couple of months and even year or two, obviously you're gonna feel like you deserve a break, before the next wave of lessons and like we deserve breaks, right? We deserve to have fun. Um so for like this collective, it's like, yeah, you got to a point where it stopped and you're like, okay, so I've learned, I've integrated a lot, and I'm ready for like my new beginning, my new chapter, my new cycle, my new era and season in life. I'm like, you're ready, and it could have felt like stagnancy. It could have felt like, why isn't anything moving? Like, why? Why isn't anything moving? And what I was tapping in before, which I feel like was still accurate, but the energy has shifted. Um, so what I was tapping in before was like you're almost put on a pause because you did shift through so many lessons, through so many challenges where for your new beginning to start, like that comes through people. That comes through other people coming into your life, meeting a particular person that connects you with someone else that hands you an opportunity, that begins this new cycle for you. And it feels like that was quiet. Like that wasn't really happening. You were like, I'm ready. I'm ready for this. I'm ready for this new beginning. Like, you yeah, you're very like ambitious and just ready to go. And yeah, nothing was happening. And it's because, again, I was tapping into that the people that were meant to give you this opportunity or connect you with other people, they were kind of dragging their feet. And their timelines almost had to match up with yours in a sense because you shifted through so many different timelines, so many different things where it's like the universe, the divine God source had to put you on a pause and be like, just wait, wait for these other people. They need to catch up to you in order to give you this opportunity or tell you about this opportunity or connect you with someone that, opens a door for you. And that was happening for some time. But it feels like the energy shifted where you went through that stagnancy, that like pause period for the last couple of weeks, and you're like, okay, well, what can I do? I just gotta wait. I gotta be patient. And the energy, like the current of energy, is now catching up to you, where you started to see different pathways and different doorways and different opportunities, whether you were starting to see them on your own or people were kind of trickling in and like starting to offer you like, hey, there's this, there's that. Like, yes, you could have been asking people, right? You could have been acting on like inspired action, right? And been asking people, been communicating with people. And then, they either tell you yes or no or whatever, right? And so essentially that current of energy started to come in and started to happen, where you're like, okay, so I know where I need to go. You know the pathway that you are on. I feel like this is the collective that knows like where they're headed in life and what they want to be doing, and kind of like what their soul purpose and soul mission is in life. And you are basically starting to see the pathways of taking you there. And what I was tapping in before, it's almost like, you know, on like Google Maps or a map or in general, but we'll just use Google Maps for this example. When you put in your like destination from where you are and where you want to go, it usually gives you like two routes, sometimes three, right? But in reality, there's so many, right? Because if like you go on one of those routes and then you have to, make a different turn, like it'll have to reroute you to a like going a different way, right? So in reality, there's always so many routes of getting to that destination. And essentially, that's what started to happen. Like, you just started to see all these pathways of the next steps that you can take in order to get on this journey. It doesn't mean like you know the whole thing, right? But you know the first step. You're starting to see, like, okay, there's this doorway, there's that doorway, there's this pathway, that pathway. And it almost felt like being overwhelmed, being overwhelmed with so many pathways, so many doorways, so many opportunities, so many options, and you're like, "Oh my god, like what move do I make?" Do you know, like, it's like when you have so many possibilities of making a certain move, there's like 10 different ways. It's almost like you just get paralyzed by all the options and you're just like, "I don't know. I don't know. Do I go this pathway, that pathway, this?" And it's like being overwhelmed, like, you could totally feel overwhelmed by the amount of options, choices, doorways, pathways, opportunities right now, where it's like you can't even make a choice because there's too many, right? And the one of the other examples that I used on that weekly was like a menu, right? Or like you go to a restaurant, and like those really high end fancy restaurants, they'll give you a menu and it's like five things. And it's really easy to make a decision because you see the five options and you're like, okay, well, I can tell that that particular option is speaking the loudest to me, right? Versus going to a different restaurant where they have like 20 or 30 items on the menu and you're like, I don't know. I like this one and that one and that one and that one. And the waitress or waiter comes and they're like, "Hey, are you ready?" And you're like, "Not no. Come back in like 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, I still need to think about it and decide." And do you know what I mean? It's like when you're given so many options and choices, it makes it almost harder because you're just like, I don't know which choice is the best one. I don't know what to do now. I'm so overwhelmed by these choices, these options, these opportunities. I don't want to make the wrong move. And it is coming from that place of wanting security. Like, especially if you've been in a place of the unknown for so long, and you've been craving stability, support, structure, it can feel like, oh my God, like what move do I make? Because you're craving that stability, that community, that structure where, yeah, it's like you don't really want to fumble. You don't want to make the wrong move because then it's like, wait, but what about that option, right? And one of the things I was getting was like, definitely right now, just ground yourself. Disconnect from, like, let's just say you have 10 or 5 or multiple really great sounding opportunities and options. Right now, just disconnect. It's really important to get grounded, to just be centered in your body so that you can make the wisest decision for yourself. And something that comes from your intuition and your heart. And oftentimes, when we disconnect ourselves from these options and we almost pretend like they're not available, that one will stick out a lot, or there'll be an option that's presented that you never ever seen. It's like a mystical, mystery, magical pathway and doorway that you never saw. You never saw, but you almost have to disconnect and regroup and reground yourself in order to see that, right? Or just get clear on what option, what doorway, what pathway to take. So it's really important. Don't stick in the head, try to come back into the body, be in the body. Like, don't make a decision from an ungrounded place, because that usually ends up being like a mistake. It has to come from a very grounded, centered, calm place so that it feels good moving forward and moving ahead. So, yeah, do what you can. Nervous system regulation, breath work, ground yourself, disconnect, then choose. But the thing I was getting with this was, it's almost like the reverse happened from what I mentioned in the beginning of like people catching up to your timeline, right? To offer you opportunities, options, doorway, pathways. It's almost like now you are getting these opportunities, these doorways, these pathways opening up. And because there's so many, now what I'm feeling, it's like the divine and these people are now waiting on you. Because see, things can't collapse into, I guess you could say, your timeline or your pathway if you don't fully commit and decide on the path. It's like the divine's like, it's literally waiting on you. So if you feel stuck, like, I get it, you could be overloaded and overwhelmed by so many options. But the divine now is like literally waiting on you. It's like, okay, we've presented you so many options, so many opportunities, so many pathways, but like, you have to choose now. This is part of your free will. You have to choose and you have to fully commit, right? And this is why I said it's so important. Disconnect, regroup, reground so that you can make the best decision for yourself, the one that feels the most aligned, where you can go ahead and move forward. Because again, there are now certain people and certain other, like, basically the next breadcrumb, the next step that you need to take in order to further you along this path, in order for all of that to fall and collapse into place and into reality. The divine God source is waiting on you now to make the move, so now it knows what you can do. Because what it feels like, guys, is like there truly is no wrong path. Truly. Because once you start moving, once you fully commit, once you start moving forward, if you are meant to, like, connect with someone else or jump over to a different pathway or whatever, like diverge from the one that you're on, because let's just say that's the fastest route, whatever the case, kind of like Google Map will reroute you if you, you know, make a different move. It's like yeah, you will get rerouted so that you can continue along on your journey, that you can continue along to get to your destination of wherever you're headed, of whatever it is that your purpose, your soul mission is. But you got to take the first move. You got to take the first leap, and you're going to have to fully commit to it energetically, because when you are that focused and that, like, okay, that's the pathway, that's the doorway, I am going there fully 1000%, the divine's like, great, awesome, all right, so now it knows what to do, who to put on this timeline, on this like pathway that you're on, to be like, okay, so this, they're gonna meet this person's gonna whatever, right? It's gonna be so many different, things I can say with this, right? And it's going to be different for different people. But again, on this pathway, you're meant to meet certain people. You're meant to meet certain people that, yes, some of them are going to be long term on this pathway. Like they're going to be, people that help you, that support you, that are meant to be in your life for a very, very long time. And yes, there are people that it's just going to be like a, you know, quick little thing. They were meant to help you with one small thing or to connect you with another person that could be long term, like that other person, but it only happened through like a short term person. So all of this has to now collapse into place. But now instead of, like you waiting on people to catch up to you, the reverse has happened. The reverse has happened, which is funny because in both scenarios, it's frustrating, right? In the first scenario, waiting on people can be frustrating, especially if you're impatient. And now it's like you have so many options, Even like what came to my mind right now, it's almost like being at the ice cream shop and you're seeing like 20 flavors and you're like, I don't know. I don't know. And you can only choose one, okay? Not two or three. You can only choose one. You're like, oh my gosh. And so that's what's happening. That's what's frustrating too, because it's like, what do I decide? And I get it. I get it. Regroup, disconnect, choose from your heart space, choose from a centered and grounded space. And if you need signs, if need it to be clear, speak to the divine. But ultimately, it does feel like this is going to be your choice of how you move forward and how you proceed. And yeah, the thing that just keeps coming to me is disconnect. Disconnect from it all. What's meant for you is not going to go away. So don't be scared of that. If you disconnect, this opportunity will go away, or that. Honestly, if anything, that's a good thing. That's a good thing, because then that wasn't for you. If those options, those pathways, those doorways disappear when you disconnect, it wasn't for you. It literally, like, road closure. That's not how, like, the path you were supposed to go, and it made your life easier. And then it's like you get left over with what is best aligned for you. And again, you'll feel into it. You'll just sit with it, be quiet with it, and ask your heart, ask your soul, like, which path? Which path? And you'll make the right decision. And you guys are headed there. You guys are headed there, and you got to take the leap. You got to take that first step. And you'll be really relieved. That's the other thing that I was feeling, is once you do, you're going to be so relieved. Like, all that energy that you're wasting on being overwhelmed and over analyzing and overthinking is going to come back to you in your body, and it's going to feel so much better to just make a decision on whatever's, being offered to you, and then just being like, all right, I did it. I made the decision. I'm going there. And all the other options now collapse. And it's like you could breathe easier, like, okay, I'm headed here. and you're putting your trust and your faith that the divine angels, God, source, whatever is there to hold you through it, is there to guide you through it, and that you're being led the right way. That even if you made a mistake, you're going to be course corrected into the right pathway. Trust, 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 trust yourself. And you can totally do this. You got this. Yeah. I think I'm going to end this here, guys, cuz this feels good, but trust yourself, move forward. You're headed you're headed in the right direction. You know which option, which opportunity, which pathway is the right one for you. You know already. It's sometimes that fear of the commitment, and I get it totally. But you gotta commit, because I'm telling you, that's when all that magic will start happening and everything will start feeling aligned and that energy will come back to you. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna leave it at there. I hope that this resonated and that it helped. And I'll see you on the next one.